did that report, Chair, we actually called all recruitment agencies that were mentioned and that had not even been mentioned to a meeting and asked them that we do a revetting exercise for those recruitment agencies. And Chair, when we did a revetting exercise, those who actually felt that they did not meet the requirements that we had set, some did not turn up, some turned up, but there were complaints against them, which we read out to them, and that informed our decision to ban over 400 of them. But we left a room for appeal, Chair, which some appealed and we reconsidered them because they had resolved the issues. If 2 or 3 job seekers had reported that you had processed them and you had not taken them to the job you had promised, and you were able to resolve, we reconsidered you. But those who were not able to resolve their cases, we took action and put a ban on them. Thank you, Chair. To your second question on Russia, Chair, unfortunately, we've witnessed of late that there are Kenyans in Russia, and it's very unfortunate that there are still pockets of agencies who may not be registered with the National Employment Authority, who use visitors' visa to process Kenyans to go abroad, and then when they are on the other side, they collude with other agencies on the other side to process them to go to the war front, which is very unfortunate. And I believe, Chair, and I can inform that the matter is being handled by the government and other agencies, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so we'll open for the other members and then you try to raise your voice. Okay? Paul Katana.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kigan, the nominee to the NLC Commission. Thank you for your brief introduction. I've listened to you and also I've gone through your CV. But it seems that you have no experience on land matters. And the Institute of Surveyors has stated that you and the other nominees, both of you have no qualification on land matters such as survey, spatial planning, and land economics. How will you be in a position to assist the Commission and you have no experience on land matters? And you know, NLC has a lot of issues to deal with land, about expired leases, comparison acquisition. So how will you fit in this new institution? And how do Kenyans trust you that will be helpful and yet you have no experience on matters of land?
Thank you, Catherine, so that you can respond. Emina, Madam Irene.
To Kigan, at NEA you dealt with fraud of labor export. At NLC, I'm sure you will deal with fraud in the land sector. That is double allocations and fake titles, etc. And of course, you know the historical injustices. Based on your experience, NEA experience, what do you see as the key similarities of how you are handling NEA and how you will combat the same here at NLC?
Yes, Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask the nominee a question on the Constitution of Kenya. The Constitution mandates the National Art Commission and Article 67. What is the constitutional mandate of National Land Commission under Article 67 of the Constitution?
I'm ready.
Honorable Rachel,
Thank you, Chairman. Mine is also related to Honorable Gitaris. How will you safeguard the independence of the Commission as provided in Article 249 of the Constitution?
respond to those ones first. Vincent.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with the question from Honorable Katana. Chair, I would like to inform this committee that I am an astute administrator, and I will leverage on my administrative skills to ensure that land administration is administered in the manner in which Kenyans expect. Secondly, Chair, I am a human resource professional. The human resource is a key area in a commission, and this human resource, Chair, they need to be motivated. They need a conducive work environment, and I will contribute, being at the commission, to ensure that those requirements are met in order for the human resource to deliver on the mandate of the commission. Secondly, Chair, on the same, I would like to say that we, as a commission member, we will endeavor to complement each other.
Vincent, you know that National Land Commission has a CEO.
Yes.
And the person we are trying to approve or reject, he's going to be a commissioner.
Yes.
Not a CEO of an institution. So we must distinguish between those two.
Thank you, Chair. I was talking about policy level, coming up with policies that support the human resource angle of the human resource aspect of the organization, because at the commission we come up with policies that now the CEO implements, and therefore also, Chair, I would like to say that we will complement each other with the various skills that that will come from different members to ensure that we deliver on the mandate of the commission. Thank you, Chair. On the second one, the labor fraud from Honorable Irene and land fraud, they are similar because most of them, both of them are involved. They are actually meted on the vulnerable members of the society, and it includes, both of them also include collusion. I mean, it is collusion by those cartels and players in the sector with officials of the organizations. And both fraud and land fraud and labor fraud are also similar in a manner that both come about because of non-compliance of the rules and regulations that are set out by the statutes in the country. Thank you. Honorable Gitari, the mandate of NLC, as spelled out in Article 67 of the Constitution, include one is management of public land on behalf of national and county government. The second one is the recommendation of a national land policy to the national government. The third one include research, carrying out research on the land use in Kenya. The fourth one I would mention is to initiate, hear and determine the historical land injustices in this Republic of Kenya, and also to come up with mechanisms of dispute resolutions in the land sector. Thank you, Chair. Honorable Rachel, on safeguarding the independence of the Commission. One, the Constitution spells out that the National Land Commission is an independent commission, and as a commissioner, if approved, I will endeavor to ensure that it remains independent. I will ensure that the decisions we make as a commission are, as per the rule of law, are independent and free of influence from political influence or other external influence. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Robbie, and then Justice.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I've looked at this CV of Mr. Keegan, and I can see he has good papers. He's a learned person. Now my question, Chairman, to Mr. Keegan. At National Employment Authority, you hold a position of a chairmanship. Now, what interest do you have to join National Land Commission, since you have a good position at NEA? And also, I would like to know if you are a brother to Honorable Cheriot. And finally, I would like to know what acreage you own in this country, and the net worth of that land, the value. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. My question goes to Keegan, and today, for the far that we've done vetting, I can see you're among the youngest in the commission to be, who is a man who is barely 40 years now, and NLC has faced a lot of criticism for delays in solving historical injustices, some of which began way long before you were born. I don't know if you've had any encounter of the same historical injustices in your existence, for example, including Angata Baragoi, Chepkumia, and some other parts of this country. What will you do so that you can expedite these processes and not succumb to political pressure in making your decisions? Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Let's take engineer first, then Maria.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I've gone through the CV of Keegan. I think, according to his age, he's trying. Mine is just a very simple question about public land allocation. I would like to know from Keegan, what legal principles govern allocation of public land?
Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I also thank the nominee, because he has not read any from any paper, his background. He just read it overhead. So, Chair, I'm also asking is from the National Employment Authority. At NLC, there is a lot of imbalance in terms of staffs. It has not been well distributed according to the face of Kenya. What are you going to do to improve on that?
You take this one first.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with the question from Honorable Robbie. On what interest do I have at NLC chair, I declare that I do not have any interest. I am just a passionate and able Kenyan who want to serve this nation at that commission. I have served at NEA for a cumulative of 6 years, and I believe I still have the energy, the zeal, and the passion to serve this country in another portfolio as this of the member of the Commission of the National Land Commission. I am not in any way related to Honorable Cheruiyot. We just share the name. Actually, his surname is Cheruiyot. Me, my name Cheruiyot is the middle name. Yeah, my name is Vincent Cheruiyot Kigen. Kigen is my surname. The only interaction I have with Aaron Cheruiyot is that he is my able senator, and we coincidentally schooled in the same high school, but he was just slightly ahead of me. Thank you, Chair. The Honorable El Mingit, on the historical land injustices, some which I have dragged, including even those ones you've mentioned, including the Ogiek, the ones in Kilifi. I want to say that as a member of the commission, I will endeavor to work with the other members of the commission to put in place mechanisms that will see to it that we fast track the hearing, the investigation, hearing, and determination of the historical land injustices, so that the victims actually get justice, and justice is seen to be done. Thank you, Chair. Honorable Zambia, on public land allocation, some of the principles, Chair, include one is equitable access to land, two is security of land rights, three is conservation and preservation of those ecologically sensitive areas. Four is elimination of gender discrimination in laws and customs relating to land, among others, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Honorable Wario, on the imbalance in the staff at NLC, I want to state to this committee that as a HR professional, I will endeavor to ensure, to come up with policies that will ensure that there is equitable distribution of positions and staff are actually reflect the face of Kenya in the commission. Thank you, Chair.
Please do. Honorable Munyi.
Thank you. In fact, I wanted to ask about your stint at the Employment Authority. This is an organization whose impact has never been felt. We don't know even what you're doing at the Employment Authority. And perhaps what role have you played as an HR person to ensure that that authority reflects the desire, the dream of Kenyans, to ensure that everybody gets equitable opportunity to advance his professionalism and all these things. Perhaps if you could give us a program that you brought into effect to ensure that Kenyans are getting fair treatment in all employment bodies, because we believe that body was meant to bring about equitability, fairness, the face of Kenya, and all these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. One, as a chairman of the National Employment Authority chairman, I was the one who ensured that we operationalize the instruments of the human, the human resource instruments of the National Employment Authority, and I oversaw the recruitment of staff to the National Employment Authority, and that is why for the last 3 years since this administration came in, we've gotten support and budgetary support, and we have been able to onboard staff to the National Employment Authority, and that is why we are able to oversee the activities of the private recruitment agencies more effectively and efficiently. On your second question, I have actually brought transformational programs to the National Employment Authority, including the digitization of full digitization of the processes of the National Employment Authority. If you want to get a recruitment license, you can apply from wherever you are in this country, whether it is Mombasa, Kisumu, Kericho, Eldoret, everywhere. If you want to get a job, you can actually go to the National Employment Authority website, that is naims.go.ke, and be able to view which jobs are available without any discrimination, just the availability of internet, and you are able to access those job opportunities from wherever you are without any discrimination. Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I want to still ask a further question. The Constitution envisages that when employment is taking place, 70% of those employed in a particular area, come from that area. Is that applicable to whatever you are doing at National Employment Authority? Because we know there have been advertisement of late, from various organizations of the government, where almost 200,000 people have applied and the opportunities are only 300. How do you ensure that people from that area where opportunities are available get those positions as envisaged by the Constitution as an employment authority?
Thank you, Chair. I think I would like to state clearly that the mandate of the National Employment Authority is distinct from that of the Public Service Commission, and our role is actually to ensure that the operations and activities of the private recruitment agencies, these ones who take people abroad, are doing that ethically and in the right manner. And when we advertise jobs as a national government institution, we ensure that the distribution is met, equal distribution in the country. Thank you, Chair.
I'm not satisfied, Mr. Chairman. No, we can continue.
No, it's good. You get satisfied and ask another question. Honorable Mui, you can go ahead and ask.
See, we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Foreign Affairs Desk, which normally deals with such issues of crook, agencies and all these things. I thought you, as a National Employment Authority, your role is to ensure that those who are looking for employment will be given fair opportunities, irrespective of whom they know, which party they voted for, or which area they're coming from. That was what we were thinking that this authority is all about. But as I told you, we have never heard about your authority anywhere, even in the newspapers, saying anything towards employment.
So what Omar Mini is saying is that for the last 6 years, during your tenure, you are not able to account for your stay there. You are not able to account. That is the satisfaction he wants. The tangible outputs. What have you been able to do to give him confidence that given this assignment, then you will be able to deliver?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to inform Mheshimiwa that we have gone out of our way and as duty-bound citizens to get job opportunities for young people in various countries, including the European countries, the Middle East. And as we speak today, Mr. Chair, Honorable Chair, I want to inform Mheshimiwa that a number over 550,000 Kenyans are working outside the country, courtesy of our efforts collaboratively with the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs and the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Gideon, maybe introduce yourself first.
Dr. Chanda Gideon, I represent Bondo constituency and I'm a member of this committee. The chair felt a bit conflicted a little bit because I know Keegan and I think I may abstain from raising some of the questions on record.
Honorable Major Deko.
Thank you, Chair. Keegan, there is the issue of affordable housing, which is being done on public land. We highly suspect that this land was not officially transferred from public to a private, because this is a private venture in the long run, in that people will be owning these pieces of the houses that they're built on. So are you willing to, are you thinking of following up on that issue, on how, whether due process was followed to transfer, because that's the mandate of National Land Commission, or it was haphazardly done, and whether that land was procedurally transferred to this housing, affordable housing authority. Thank you.
You may proceed to answer those.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And on affordable housing, NLC, Mheshimiwa Deko, NLC being an enabler of such a strategic government programs like affordable housing, I will endeavor, if confirmed by this committee, to work with the Commission to first of all establish the status of that land where affordable housing is built, whether it is public, or whether it is, whether if it is owned by county government, so that we can now facilitate the process of transferring it or ensuring that it is it is well put in terms of where it is supposed to belong. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
So then I think we are almost coming to the end of the session. Just want to ask you a few questions. Have you ever been charged in any court or convicted?
Not really, Chair. No.
Have you been adversely mentioned? I know you must have interacted with the parliamentary committees. Have you been adversely mentioned in any one of your reports?
No, Chair. Not really, Chair.
But you seem to be second guessing. Are you sure?
No, Chair. No.
Are you sure about
yes,
that?
I'm sure, Chair.
So what is your net worth in terms of how much you're worth? As Vincent, your net worth in terms of your value, properties.
Yes, the earthly positions, Chair, around 68 million. That's what I declare.
Sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you hold dual citizenship?
No. I don't hold.
Okay.
Yes, Chair.
I just want to thank you for that engagement and also for the responses you have given to our questions. We are very delighted to have hosted you this afternoon. Maybe you could make your very final remarks.
Thank you, Chair, and this honorable committee. I would like to thank you for giving young professionals like me an opportunity to be here, to be heard, and even appearing here is a privilege, Chair, for a young professional like me. I have in the past applied for positions, but I have not found myself up to this level. Like the last one, I applied for the PS position, Chair, and I did not come up to this level. I do pray and beseech this committee to consider me positively. So to the next stage, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. And we just want to wish you the very best. Once we are done with this voting exercise, we'll do the report and the approval will be given by the full House. So we really want to wish you the very best. So on behalf of these members, we will now discharge you. You may take leave.
Thank you, Chair.
So I think it's the heading which is a problem, and the content. Yeah, so it's Julie, Dr. Julie Ouma Oseko. So welcome, Madam Julie, Daktari. You're welcome, you may have a seat. I want to believe that you've given your documents to our members of staff. They are already circulated. Your name is Dr. Julie Ouma Oseko. Okay, you're most welcome. Welcome to Parliament. We'll do the introduction of the members who serve in this committee, and then after that we'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. My name is Josh Namoko, Chair Lands Committee, and the Member of Parliament for North Mogrango constituency, which is in Nyamira County.
Fatuma Jeho, County MP Wajir, Vice Chair to Lands Committee.
Honorable Paul Katana, MP Kaloleni, member of the committee.
Ali Wario, member for Garsen, member of this committee.
Joseph Lelmengit, member of Parliament for Mgwen constituency and a member of this lands committee.
Honorable Deko Barrow, MP for Garissa Township and a member of the committee.
I'm Matthias Roby, MP Kuria West, member of this committee.
Gitare Gashoki, MP Kirinyaga Central, a member of this committee.
Dr. Rachel Nyamai, MP Kitui Southern, member.
Engineer Zambia, Kilama constituency, and a member of this committee.
Honorable Omar Mini, member for Changamwe and a member of this committee.
Dr. Chanda Gideon, representing Bond and a member of this committee.
Honorable Irene Joki, MP Bahati, member of this committee.
We have our clerks, the lead clerk, to introduce himself on behalf of the rest.
Under Joshua, committee clerk.
So Dr. Ouma Julie will first administer the oath. And after that we'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. So the legal counsel.
No, just place your hand. Place your hand.
Raise your right hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lift your right hand. Then fill in your name.
I, Julie Ouma Oseko, do swear that the information I shall give before this committee on the matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So you may now sit down. Fill in there. Yes, your full name.
Just not
Yes,
like
yes, yes, yes. Signature and the date. 9. Thank you.
So you signed that oath. I want to give you a chance so that you can introduce yourself to the members of the committee. You tell us who you are by name, where you come from, where you went to school, and where you have trained, your work experience, and any other information which you feel will add value in terms of making a decision for your consideration as a commissioner to the National Land Commission. So I'll give you 10 minutes to do that.
Chair,
So
sorry
you
for
may proceed.
interfering.
Okay, sorry.
We are checking at this, the same thing we had before, and it is not about the headline. They have confirmed to me we have the wrong, you know what I'm talking about. We have the wrong document. It's meant for someone else.
So I think it's been sorted, but she can be introducing herself as the correct numbers.
I just wanted to...
Yeah. Thank you so much, Honorable Gitari, for that. So you may proceed. We'll give you 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You tell us who you are, where you went to school, where you come from. At least you describe yourself in that aspect, in those aspects.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and thank you, Honorable Members, for giving me this opportunity to appear before you today for this exercise. I'll start by stating who I am. My name is Honorable Dr. Julie Ouma Oseko, CS. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. It means I'm a lawyer by profession. I am also a family member. I'm a mother of 4 daughters. I'm a widow, and I also have several grandchildren. I was born and grew up in Sierra County in Game constituency. I went to school in Kisumu County. My father was employed by the Kenya Railways, so I grew up in Kisumu City. I did my primary school there. I did my secondary school there, Kisumu Girls. Then I went to Nia Girls High School. Then I went to Luak Girls High School. After that, I came to Nairobi, to the University of Nairobi, where I did my Bachelor's of Laws, which I passed with honors. And in my Bachelor's of Laws, in my second year of study, I studied land law and also the law of trusts. I also did my master's degree at the University of Nairobi. I specialized in the area of public international law from when I went to the UK, the United Kingdom, where I did my PhD in the University of Leicester. My PhD was in the area of constitutional law with specific reference to rule of law, separation of powers, and judicial independence. That is what I studied. I went to the Kenya School of Law, where I did my diploma in law, and that is the reason why I'm a practicing advocate. Apart from that, before I go to my work experience, I would like to share with you my professional affiliations. So I'm a member of the Law Society of Kenya. I'm also a certified secretary and therefore that's why I have the name CS to it. So I'm a governance expert. I'm also a counsel listed in the International Criminal Court in The Hague. That means, honorable members, that I have the authority and capacity to practice law before that court, either representing victims or representing accused persons. I'll come to my work experience. My work experience, I have worked my entire life. I joined the judiciary in 1989. I have had my entire work, most of my work experience in the judiciary as a judicial officer. First, before I joined the judiciary, I worked briefly for 2 years at the Nairobi City Council. And when I was at the Nairobi City Council, then it was called the then Nairobi City Commission. I was attached to the litigation department, and there is the first time officially I came to terms with land issues, because I was in the conveyance department and I was also in the litigation department, specifically the rates department. I worked there for 2 years, then I joined the judiciary and I was taken to Kibera Law Courts. I started as a district magistrate 2 professional, and I have risen up the ranks until the year 2022, when I exited the Judicial Service Commission as a chief magistrate. So I have about over 30 years of experience as a judicial officer. So basically, Your Honors, I am a public servant. I've only worked in the public service. I haven't worked in the private sector. In the course of that work in the judiciary, I came to be able to align myself to land matters. As you may very well know, magistrates, judges, we hear a lot of land cases. So I interpreted, I applied, and I presided over very many land cases. Also, in terms of the criminal section of it, there are also several cases that touch land. I came a lot in contact with historical land injustices. My work took me to very many stations in the country. So I have worked in Nairobi, I worked in Machakos, I worked in Molo, and at that particular time, in 2007, I was the senior principal magistrate in charge of Molo Law Courts. And then I've also had 10 years experience in the coast. In Mombasa, I worked for 4 years, and the last 6 years I worked in Malindi. I've also worked in Kiambu. So I have a very good, rounded experience in land matters and matters touching to land, which I've accumulated in my work in the judiciary. In that work experience, honorable members, also it's just, I've not just worked in court, I've also worked outside the courtroom, but inside the judiciary. In the year 2012, when I came back from my PhD, I was seconded to the Judiciary Training Institute, where I was the deputy or the assistant to the director of JTI. There, in the Judiciary Training Institute, does training of judges and magistrates and non-judicial staff. And in that space, I got the opportunity to engage with certain policies. We were developing policies, we were training judges and magistrates, we were coming up with practical bench books for operation by the magistrates. And just to mention what will align to the mandate, if I am given this opportunity, I can say that I was one of those pioneers who brought ADR, alternative justice systems, into the judiciary. We started it, I was chair of the task force that was mandated to come up with the pilot to try to see if the judiciary could engage with the traditional justice systems, which pilot we did in Isiolo, and it was very successful. And I must say that I am proud that that is one of the constitutional mandates that is being implemented today. I also took part in the mediation, which I did the pilot at JTI with the Strathmore School. We are the ones who started it. I launched it, and then I left it to go on. I also conceptualized and drafted the first brought together the first mediation accreditation committee because I was tasked with bringing life to that aspect of the constitution. Apart from that, I also worked in the judiciary JPIP, the Judiciary Performance Improvement Project JPIP. This was a $150,000 loan by the government, World Bank, to the judiciary. And our work was to make sure that we utilize that fund to improve the performance of the judiciary. And in that role, I am the one who drafted the JTI component of the project appraisal document. Then I was taken to when the project was launched and it started, I was taken to the JPIP headquarters to be able to assist the implementing units to absorb those funds. So it's a lot, but I just want to go within my 10 minutes. So I also worked with in the CRJ's office. There I supported policy documents and the work of the CRJ. I also am a mentor. In the course of my work, I have mentored young girls and lawyers and girls in general. I do quite some community work. I believe if you see my CV, they are all outlined there. I will not say all of them, but I'm very passionate about women. I'm very passionate about gender justice, and I'm also very innovative. I've also had some successes. I have received some accolades. The CB Madan Prize I've received when I was in Malindi. My court was one of those ones that were recognized for best performance in the country. I went there in 2019. In 2016, by 2019, 2 years, I had turned out that court, and I'm also very, very passionate about technology because I was also in the Judiciary ICMS Committee, which was advising the judiciary on all those matters ICT. So I'm an innovator. I am an achiever. I work hard. I work hard for the public. I'm passionate about public service, and if these honorable members give me the opportunity to serve the Kenyans, I will continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that elaborate and eloquent presentation in form of introduction. Honorable members, I want to open the floor. I know from what she has presented and based on what you have done from the morning, we should be able to move so that we can then vet the gracious leaders before the committee. Honorable Joseph Gitari, I hope you have a pen. And if you don't have one, we can give you one and a pen, and a paper, so that you can take. We'll take a set of 3, then after that, we'll give another cohort. Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Chair, and I want to be on record that I'm a surveyor and a member of ISK.
Switch off your mic, Madam Julie. Switch off your mic.
I want to tell the nominee that the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya has publicly stated that you and other nominees lack core RAD sector qualifications such as RAD Law, survey, spatial planning, and RAD economics. They have questioned how a commissioner without a background can effectively contribute to NLC technical mandate. What I would like to know from you, Daktari, is how do you respond to ISK concern? What specific values do you bring as a governance and consumer protection expert as a to a commission that make technically complex decisions? The other issue, Chair, NLC deals with matters requiring specialized knowledge, cadastral survey, RAD registration, valuation, methodologies, and environmental impact assessment. You will be required to vote on the same matter. I would like to know how will you equip yourself to make informed decision on technical issues? Will you rely entirely on the commission technical staff? And if so, how will you guard against simply rubber stamping the recommendation without independent understanding? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Gitari. Honorable Paul Katana, then Decor.
Thank you, Chair. Madam Nominee, you've stated that you have some clue on land issues. You have been a magistrate, and I'm proud that you have served in Mombasa and Malindi. Coast Province has had a lot of land injustice since time immemorial. You being the Chief Magistrate of Malindi, you must have encountered a lot of land disputed issues that came through you. During your rulings or your judgment, were you at any given time influenced by political pressure or materialistic? Because a lot of the locals have lost their case against very, very influential people in Malindi, Mombasa, let's say in particular in Kilifi County and Mombasa County. And these are locals who have stayed in their ancestral land. If nominated, what will you do to make sure that these people get justice and get back their land? Thank you.
Major Deco.
Thank you, Chair. Julie, there's no doubt about the CV you have presented in terms of, it's very impressive. But from 1989 to 2022, you are still at that level of magistrate. With this impressive CV, I would have expected you to be at this stage, to have gone to the level of the Supreme Court. I do not understand. Maybe you can give some light on this. Secondly, in your income, you still earn some fees or legal fees from your law firm. I believe this is your partner in this law firm. So again, will you not be conflicted in the land commission, because the lawyers deal a lot with the issues related to land, and you still serving as a partner in a law firm which you are earning? Will it be conflicting in the new role you are going to undertake? Thank you.
Honorable Engineer in Zambia. Switch off your mic, Madam Julie.
Thank you, Chair, and to Daktari with a very detailed CV. We have parliamentary reports and fact-finding services, visits, which have revealed that there is an increase in cases of illegal and irregular allocation of public land, including restricted areas. In your capacity, if appointed, what corrective measures will the Commission implement to curb and address this illegal and irregular allocation of public land?
We want to take those ones first, so that we don't lose it. Then we will go to the next set. Okay.
Thank you for those questions, honorable members. I will start with the last as I go to the first one. On questions of illegal and irregular allocation of land, it is true, and also from my experience as a judicial officer, it is true that that kind of vice is going on. And one of the mandates, and particularly with the newly enacted legislation of 2025, the Commission has been given a window to review those cases and also to consider cases of historical injustices. So definitely, if appointed, through approval, those are some of the issues that we are going to deal with as a Commission, I believe on a priority basis, but I believe we will have to do it and agree as a Commission. But truly it is a priority which must be addressed, and the Commission has the options of addressing them under the law. So if there is found to be any land which is illegally or irregularly allocated, as a commissioner, I will just follow the law and do according to the law, like I have done all the years with the law. I go to the question of the legal firm, my relationship with the legal firm. I did retire in 2022 and I joined the legal firm, but I was not very active because I had worked for so many years. Honorable members, I just decided to take a 2-year break, at least to relax, because I'd started working when I was in the 20s. I reached 60, I was still working, so I took a break. So the truth is that it's just only last year that I've just decided I want to come out and serve again. And then came this advert, and then I decided, let me apply for this. Yeah, so that is how it is. So my practicing certificate, if you can see it, is for 2025. So before that, I was just doing, just go to the office just to do background things. The farm is run by my 2 daughters, and it is the farm that was left over by my late husband when he died, and my 2 daughters are lawyers, and so we agreed with them that they sit in the farm and they hold on to their father's legacy. So I'm really not inside. The girls are extremely competent. They are doing very well. They really don't need me. If I get into this job, I will definitely leave it. I'm not a partner, I'm just a consultant, which means I just do just easy work in the, and supporting them also, because they are also still young. So for me, there will be no conflict of interest. And should there be any conflict of interest, should there be any, because it's a law firm, it does business, it may have business with the National Land Commission. I'm very much aware of the act that has replaced the public officers, the Conflict of Interests Act. I'm very much aware of it. I'm very much aware of the procedures, and should any time arise that any such conflict arises or not arises, I will make sure that it is properly noted there and the procedures there are followed. So that shouldn't be a problem. Then on the issue of why I have not been appointed as a judge of the High Court, when my husband died in 2015, I just decided to take as, what it takes. So I didn't make those applications. I was also still, I was a chief magistrate, but I did not make that application because I was still trying to stabilize my family. But personally, I have always been interested in land. So in 2019, when an opportunity arose for the ELC, I did apply. Because that is really where my heart is. Because mostly as a magistrate, you will find that almost 50% of the cases are land. They are land. Either they are criminal, somebody has killed another person, but over land. When you look at the context, the basis, chanzo chake, ni shamba. So I've been very passionate about it, but then I did not get that opportunity. I believe maybe because I really don't know, because I don't know if to say the right person to answer this question would be the Judicial Service Commission, because I put myself forward, I gave my qualifications, but I'm also very sure that the Judicial Service Commission, in its wisdom, did what is best for the country. And maybe that, I don't want to call it failure, maybe that not being able to get into the Judicial Service Commission has brought this opportunity for me to be able, if allowed, to serve Kenyans for me, in a much better space where I have the passion for it. Yeah, maybe this is a blessing in disguise for me. I don't want to say it that way, but I don't know how to answer that, because we really don't get the reasons for the decisions that are made. So, but I believe the Judicial Service Commission did what it did in its utmost good faith. Yeah, and sometimes not all of us can be able to ascend to the High Court or to the Supreme Court. It's given me a good opportunity to serve Kenyans in a different capacity, and I'm grateful for that. On the issue of Malindi and the land cases, it is true, Honorable Katana, that Malindi Law Courts is awash with cases of squatters. Mostly it's squatters cases. And we do those cases every day. We handle them in criminal cases, like a forcible detainer. Okay, you may always find a lot of murders being committed just because somebody between the communities, the ones who feel offended and the one who feel on the other side. And it's true that there is also some level of political undertones in those cases. So how did we deal with them? For us, we dealt with them because I established my CUC. It's called the Court Users Committee, which I believe if I go into the commission, we will have something where even the other outside stakeholders can plug into the system and support the system. We had CUCs. In these CUCs, we had the members of parliament. I think we had Honorable Kingi, Michael, and also the governor was Honorable Kingi, as our governor for Kilifi. So what we did was we just worked together. We created situations where we all went to the ground. The magistrate, the judge, the lawyers, everybody in the land system, we all went to the ground. With the help of the provincial administration, we were able to talk to the people. And we were able to speak in one voice, because when you don't speak in one voice, then you have a problem. So we were able to bring in the politicians into the work that we do as the court and be able to work with them so that we can reduce these instances of the squatter problem. So for me, it was not really a big legal issue, but just engaging with the public, because the public are ignorant of the law. And once you take away that ignorance and you empower them and they understand what the law is, usually I got the feedback that they were actually not so bad, and to an extent that when the matters came to court and we had gone out and done the civic education and then the matters came back to court, they would tell me, Madam, ni kweli shamba si yetu, tupatie tu wakati tutoke. Okay, we also dealt with the landowners and we talked to the landowners. Look at these people's situation. If you find it in your heart that you can also be able, much as they are squatters, you know them. If you find that they are genuine, even though they are illegally on your land, find a solution. So for me, it is a solution finding situation. And that is what I think is best to do. And I hope that if appointed, then I'll be able to continue with these initiatives and share them with the fellow commissioners so that we can solve these problems. With respect to the issue about rubber stamping the work of the technical persons who are surveyors, and being in the commission, I may not be a surveyor, I may not be a valuer, but I just need to state that as a lawyer, there's a reason why we are called learned people. So we go through, we learn, we get evidence from the surveyors, we get to understand exactly what the work of surveyors is, because that is the technical capacity that we have as lawyers. And in several instances also, you can have two surveyors with two different opinions. As a court, you cannot say you can make that determination. So I have that competence, that skill that I've acquired as a lawyer through my studies, to be able to go through and not to be able to be faced by the technical people on the ground. So for me, I think I have the competence and the skills to be able to navigate around other experts. That's what I would say. I've also, there's also the question of surveyor and the complaint by the ISK. The requirement for being a national land commission is properly outlined, and for me, I believe as a lawyer, as a magistrate, as a mother, as a woman, as somebody who has interacted with matters land, I have that political awareness and that emotional intelligence to be able to sit in this commission and be able to work with the others. And also I bring in competence, integrity, accountability, and my law, my interpretation of the law. As you can see, the National Land Commission, there's a lot of law, there's a lot of constitutional provisions, there's a lot of statutes to be interpreted, and so for me, my contribution to the commission, to the other commissioners, is that I bring this skill. I have a PhD in constitutional law, and therefore I feel that I am competent. I suppose I've answered all the questions.
It's okay. Then we have Dr. Rachel Amai, Mheshimiwa Omar Mwinyi, and then Justice will finish with Dr. Gideon Ochanda. In that order. Rachel.
Chair, thank you very much, and congratulations for making it to that seat, Daktari. Chair, I have very specific, small questions, 3 of them, but very brief. The first one concerns Aseko and Ouma. I know you have really tried as much as you can to distance yourself, but I would like to ask you whether you would like to talk about this matter of Aseko and Ouma and Wamenju, which concerns a decision concerning a certain amount of money that was paid to the farm, which was a bit controversial. Whether you are aware and whether you can say something about it too. It's alleged that you have a lot of land in Malindi. How much land do you have in Malindi? And lastly, do you have any dealings? Does this particular farm have dealings with NLC or Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning? Thank you.
Honorable Engineer Omar Mwinyi.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to state that we have a lot of things in common with Dr. Julie. I'm also a widower. I'm also interested in land, and I also have grandchildren. So I can see we have a lot of commonalities with, between us. The only thing that worries me is that I'm afraid of being jailed because, you know, she's been a judge. So maybe the only thing that is worrying me is if I cross her lines, could end up in jail. But anyway, beside that, I just want to point out to Dr. Julie, there's a case in Diani area where the government at one time wanted to take over a certain parcel of land for purposes of development of projects for the government. And one such land used to belong to a family known as the Bikas. It's a big family. It surrendered the plot to the government because they were patriotic. But when the government decided that it was no longer taking up that project, they ordered that the land be given back to the owners. One prominent family, which of course was once in the presidency, took that land. This is the Moe family. And up to this day, they are holding on to that land, despite the fact that we have tried as a committee, but of course, up to this time, that land still is with the Gideon Moyes. I want to get it from you, just in case we happen to give you this position. How can you be of assistance to make sure that this land gets back to the owners? Because up to this date, they still believe this land is theirs. It's only that they do not have political powers, but they have rights as Kenyans to own that land since it used to be their land. So we want an assurance from you, because once you get into the office, we'll get you to make sure this will begin this journey to retrieve that land from the grabbers and get it back to the owners. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Ochanda.
Yes, Chair. In as much as I would not want to be hounded by the county, let me bring two short questions for purpose of public interest. What I'm seeing is not, but NLC has a backlog of very many disputes. Similarly, the judiciary has very many of those disputes that are the backlog. And here you are, and you've done a very exemplary service. And in your records, you cleared 95 cases in one day. 95 cases in one single day. What is it that's happening in judiciary that we still have backlog? If one magistrate can clear 95 cases in one single day. The other thing is in terms of being in the legal environment. What do you think could be ailing or be the challenges that NLC could be facing, that some of these things are not, most of the problems are not solved? What generally do you think are the issues behind NLC not doing to the expectation of Kenyans?
Honorable Justice.
Thank you, Chair. Dr. Julie, you are actually the exact age with my mother. And thank you for highlighting your extensive and elaborate CV and the kind of service that you've done for this country. Now, NLC faces a lot of challenges, dozens of challenges. One of them includes pending bills that accrue from lost land cases, legal fees, and also penalties. All these payments are made using taxpayers' money. Now, I need an assurance from you that in case you get this opportunity, you are the right person for this job, and you will save this country and the taxpayers from paying these legal fees that accrue from failed cases that are lost by National Lands Commission. Thank you, Chair.
Daktari, can you respond to us?
Thank you, honorable members, for those very good questions. I will start from the back. Honorable Justice. Yeah, like you said it, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and bring back the confidence of Kenyans in the National Land Commission. That one I will do. With respect to the challenges of pending bills, because of legal fees and also penalties. When we talk about legal fees, I've heard about huge legal bills. And these bills are given to the National Land Commission for the work done by the lawyers. And for me, one of the things I would do is that I make sure as commissioner, of course we have a legal department, we'll be able to do a checklist on scrutinizing the contents of the bills, because sometimes the bills could be inflated. And having been a deputy registrar in the judiciary and having been a taxing master, that is a person who taxes bills between the client and the client and the advocate, I think I'll have a very good bird's eye view of exactly how these bills come, so that even if they are heavy, we are able as an NLC to tell the public that yes, the bills are heavy, but they are correct, okay? Because then I will have, if we don't agree with the bill, we take it before the DR for taxing. Let the court make that decision. And then that will ease off also the burden of saying NLC this and NLC that. And then another issue is that when bills spent and they are not paid for a long time, interest accrue. When we give judgments in court, we say pay so much plus cost plus interest from the day of filing suit until payment in full, which means from the date of that judgment, interest starts accruing at court rates. So if we don't look at these bills that we get from the advocates and we keep quiet, it's for their benefit, it's not for our benefit. So we need to start dealing with these bills to avoid payment of interest, because if an interest stays for 10 years, then it will, if you do the math, you will double the amount of money that you're supposed to pay. So that is one thing that we need to stop or to deal with immediately at the NLC. And for me, coming from the bench, I have that experience. I have that knowledge, I have that experience, and I'm able to guide the legal department and oversee that this does not happen. Also, I am aware that there is a pending bills committee which is looking into the genuineness of the government pending bills, and I believe that once this committee concludes its work, then I think some of these issues will have been solved, maybe even if not half, but at least to a certain extent. There are several others, but let me just leave it at that. In view of trying to get the name, Dr. Ochanda, issues of backlog of cases, okay? Issues of backlog of cases and use, for me, I was in the judiciary for the longest time possible. But the day we started getting good results is when we applied IT, when we digitized. Because when you don't digitize, files get lost. And once a file gets lost, a case cannot be had. And if that case has been pending, file gets lost for 10 years, that case becomes pending for 10 years. And I sat in the ICMS committee. We started it, and we worked on it for 2 years, and we gave the judiciary a blueprint and it is upon that blueprint that the current judiciary ICT policy is being used now. And if you can see, you can now log in. You don't need to wait for somebody to tell you, oh, what did the magistrate say, what did the judge say? You can just log in and see the proceedings. Proceedings of the NLC in matters of where we do matters on historical and land injustices. I don't see why we should not. We can log in, and anybody from anywhere, even the whites and the British who are following their cases in Kenya, can be able to see what is going on. So for me, use of ICT, Honorable Chanda, is big to me, and I've seen the effects, I have seen the results, and if you approve me for this appointment, trust me, that is one thing that I will share my knowledge, my experiences, and even be able to benchmark with the judiciary. I remember the first time I came to Parliament, this is the second time, we had come here to benchmark with you on your digitization of these proceedings. And that is what we actually used to transfer to go and do the audiovisual for the courts. And it worked. So it's basically working together to deal with that. It's true that I handled the 95 cases, and thank you for the compliment, in one day. It is possible. And still on that, I used ICT. I simply went, the prison didn't have a laptop. I took my laptop, took it to prison, told them use it. I'm on this side. And this was actually the 4th day after lockdown. That was the 4th day after lockdown. And I looked at it, and I looked at the situation, and I said, no, this cannot happen. We need to get some of these people out of prison. I was not afraid. We didn't have regulations for use of ICT, but I went ahead and I gave them my laptop. We sat on one side, and they just came and we talked, And I did my cases, and I did 95 cases, and I concluded them, and those people were released. And I was the first person in the judiciary, not just the magistrate, I was the first person to use ICT on the 4th day of lockdown. So for me, that is innovation, given a chance. If you approve that I get into this very good commission, I will be able to share my experiences with them and also make them move forward with it. Then that's Commissioner Omar Mwini about Diani, about this case you're talking about. For now, I have heard you. I will not talk about the merits of it, but it is a good case for the aggrieved party to file before the National Land Commission. Then we will take it up, and then we will deal with it, and we will apply the law. And if it is true that the land was grabbed, we can assure you we will recommend for justice to be done. That's the much I can say, because then you've said about this, those other people also have their sides, but let the matter come to the commission, and we assure you that we are going to do it very, very expeditiously, because that is also another case for delay. We'll try and make sure that we do as fast as we can. I hope that answers your question.
Mr. Chairman, I think I'm very satisfied, because we once did a case with the former deputy chair of NLC, chair to the first NLC chair. What is it? What was his name? Swazuri, the deputy to Swazuri. And we managed to revert a piece of land belonging to Kenya Port Authority back to them. So I believe it is possible. And I forgot to say I'm also a supporter of broad-based government. You know, we have a lot of things in common with you. That is what I was saying. Otherwise, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I rest my case.
I think when you're fasting, you're so notorious.
Finally, I just want to respond to Honorable Nyamai about this case in Oseko and Ouma. Like I said, I'm not the managing partner. I don't know about this case, because unless I go and I ask what is going on. But I'm not really in the daily management of the work. I just sit there when I was taking my break, so I've not been able to appraise myself with the file. But if there's need be, we can clarify. So I'm not aware of that. Then there's this allegation that I have a lot of land in Malindi. The truth is, I don't have a lot of land in Malindi. If you check the registries, there is no land which is registered in my name in Malindi. But I bought land in Malindi, which was 30 acres, which I bought from a settlement scheme, but I have not even finished paying it. I just pay it slowly, and I have not completed. When I complete, then I will say that I have land in Malindi. Other than that, I do not have any other land in Malindi. Thank you.
Madam Vice Chair, as we conclude.
Thank you, Chair. I must say that Dr. Julie, you don't look like your age. You're way younger than your age. I must say that you must have done a good job on yourself, so keep it up. Since the promulgation of the Constitution, we have had 2 NLC commissions. You are going to be the 3rd one if approved. When we go out in the public, the feeling is NLC are not up to the task. They're still not felt, especially in the areas where historical injustices of lands have been done. If approved, what can you tell Kenyans who are watching us today that indeed something will be done, that the other 2 commissions have not done it? Thank you.
May I respond to that?
I do appreciate your concern, and that is a concern which even me, being outside there, I have had. Even me, I didn't know much about the NLC. So me, at my level, I didn't know a lot about it. I know it's there and it's doing this work, but I really didn't know much about it. So I'm equally a victim. Now that I'm going to be, if you allow me to be in there, I think it's a question of visibility. The commission requires to be very visible. I don't know I can't say I've read much about it, or the little I have read in this short time, but we'll definitely inquire. But I think one of the issues that need to be addressed is issue of engagement with the public. Sensitization. When I was in Malindi, nobody had seen a magistrate in Marafa. Somehow they saw us. It was very uncomplicated, very, very, just that small gesture. And you get the whole county knowing that there is a court. So when I moved my court to a court, I opened a court in Marafa, they now got to know. So some of those, some solutions may just be about visibility, about engagement with the public. And also now, with the lifting of the limit of hearing historical injustices, I am very certain that the commission in its first business will allow the members to now say the law has been changed, we can now hear historical land injustices, and just like I was saying, we will disseminate the information. If we have proceedings, we will put them ICT, anybody can be able to see the cases as they go along, as the way they're doing in the judiciary. So for me, from that small beginning, that is the solution I think I can give now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll just ask a few questions. Very general, have you ever been convicted or charged in the court of law in Kenya? No,
not at all.
It's you convicts.
Pardon?
But you've been convicting other people.
Yeah, I've convicted people, but I've not been convicted.
Do you have a dual citizenship?
No, I'm not.
What is your financial net worth?
My financial net worth, will maybe explain a bit. It comprises of the net worth of my family, from my husband who's an advocate, so that net estate, and also what is mine. It comes to 300 million shillings.
300. What are your current or unexpected source of income?
Social income I get from also as a family, because the house is not mine. I get the benefits with my children as beneficiaries of the estate. It's a rental income for a house in Karen, and also my pension money. Yeah.
So I think we've come to the end of the session. I want to thank you for that passionate presentation and engagement you have had with the members of the committee. And we really want to wish you the very best. We'll do the report, we'll take it to the House for approval, for the final approval or rejection. But we are praying that, looking at the passion that you've exhibited, we want to believe that maybe it'll go through. So, very final remarks, 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, I really wish to thank you so much for this session. I'm satisfied. I'm happy that I've been able to try to convince you that I need to be given this noble opportunity to serve the Kenyan public. I also want to thank you very much for sitting this long hour since morning, and I know you're still going to sit, for just taking that time to do this honorable duty. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We had your papers, I think. Have you collected? Okay, thank you, and we wish you the very best. So we have to go. The next nominee. Mohammed Abdi, the next nominee. Where is he? Mheshimiwa Mohammed, please have a seat. And welcome to this session. Mohammed, we want to welcome you to Bunge. I understand you were here some time back, so welcome back. This is the Committee on Lands. So welcome again. You are before the Committee of Lands on a vetting exercise, and the sole purpose is to determine and assess your suitability for the position that you've been proposed for in the National Land Commission. So I'll do the introduction. Once we're done with the introduction, we'll give you a chance so that you can introduce yourself. My name is Namuko Josh, Member of Parliament for North Mogrango constituency in Nyamira County. Madam Vice.
Fatuma Jeho, County MP Wajir, Vice Chair to this committee.
Honorable Paul Katana, MP Kaloleni, Member of the committee.
Honorable Joseph Lelmengit, MP for Mgwen constituency in Nandi and a member of this lands committee.
Honorable Deko Baro, MP for Garissa Township and a member of the committee.
I'm Matthias Robi, MP Kuria West, member of this committee.
Itare Gachoki, MP Kirinyaga Central, member of this committee.
Dr. Rachel Nyamei, MP Kitui South and member.
Engineer Zambia, Kilonga constituency and a member of this committee.
Dr. Gideon.
Dr. Ochanda Gideon, represent Banda, and a member of this committee. And Chair can outrightly say that I sat with Abdi in the 11th Parliament.
Our lead clerk.
Ondari Joshua, committee clerk.
So I'll ask the legal counsel to administer the oath.
Then you just fill in your name and read.
I, Muhammad Abdi Haji Muhammad, do affirm that the information I shall give before this committee on matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You sign that oath. So, Mr. Abdi, Honorable Abdi, you are most welcome to this session. I'll give you a chance so that you can introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you went to school, where you come from, and your qualifications and the experiences you've earned while working in this country. You may proceed. We'll give you 5 minutes so that you can do that. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Muhammad Abdi Haji Muhammad, native of Mandera County. I'm a family man with children. I went to school in Mandera initially, and then formative stage of my life, I went to schools in Mandera. For my higher education, I've got master's business administration from USIE University. I've got law degree from Nairobi University, and I've got diploma in clinical medicine from Kenya Medical Training College. My work experience, I've worked extensively in many parts of this country as a clinician. After that, I joined business, private practice. I've practiced in Mandera, in Garissa, and in Nairobi. I've run hospitals, clinics, and pharmaceutical companies. After that, I joined politics. That is 2002, 2007. I was a member of parliament for Mandera West. 2013, 2017, member of parliament for Banisa constituency. So I've gained a lot of experience. I know this country. I've traveled widely as a parliamentarian, as a civil servant. I have known Kenyans very well. I know all parts of this country. I know their language, what they talk about. So I think I'm suited for this program from my experience and from my knowledge and from my education background. I think I'm suitable for this vetting program. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being candid and very brief and focused to the point. I want to open the floor to the members so that they can ask or engage with the nominee. Honorable Katana.
Thank you, Chair. Nominee Abdi, you have been a member of parliament for 2 terms. Is that right? In those 2 terms, did you attempt to maybe bring a law or an amendment in land matters that maybe have changed the lives of Kenyans? Secondly, you are most on the issue of medicine and all that. You have no experience on land matters. How do you think that will be useful to this committee? I mean the commission, in terms of issues to do with the valuation, issues to do with surveys. How will you be useful to a commission that your experience and academic does not give you the experience to do with land matters? How will you be useful to this committee and to Kenyans on matters of land, and your career is not in line with land issues? The other one is that what do you understand by the core function of National Land Commission and Article 67 of the Commission? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My question is, you have been a member of Parliament since 2002. And 2013-2017, there is this issue of community land. Did you make any effort to register community land for the Banisa community when you are a leader there? Also, Chair, there is this ongoing dispute of a community and I think county government on the airport, Mandera Airport. So if that is a community land, how can a government force an airport on the community without maybe proper public participation? Thank you.
Honorable Engineer Zambia, I hope you are noting down those questions. Okay, thank you. Honorable Zambia.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Chair. The nominee served as a member of Parliament, and he served on the Constituency Development Fund Committee, overseeing the implementation of community projects, including schools and water infrastructure. Many of these projects required land acquisition and community engagement. What specific challenges did you encounter in securing land for public projects in your constituency? And how was the dispute resolved as a member of Parliament? And what lessons did you learn about balancing development needs with the rights of landholders? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Maybe you can take those first.
Thank you, Chair. Mheshimiwa Katana's question. It's true, I did not bring up any land law matters. Number two, my usefulness to this land commission is what is in question according to Mheshimiwa Katana. But I want to say this, there are a lot of usefulness that I can see that I can bring to this commission. Why? Because, for example, in this emotive issue of historical land injustice, what we require is a thorough investigation, diagnosis, and treatment. what I've specialized in as a clinician is that I listen to patients, take their notes, investigate them, and treat them. And that is the similarity that is between what I have learned, although I'm also a lawyer, not an advocate, but a lawyer, but my usefulness is in investigations and getting cause treatment for what is ailing, and therefore I'll be useful in that manner. Number three, the core functions of NLC. Number one is administering public land on behalf of the counties and national government, developing and proposing land policy, advocating for alternative dispute resolutions, investigation of historical land injustices, and many others. Now, Mheshimiwa Wario, Mheshimiwa Wario's question is whether I have registered community land. I think the Act has come into effect much later than when I was an MP, after I left that position. But I want to say yes, there is no registration that has been done. And generally, community land registration is a big problem countrywide because there are a lot of disputes. Phenomenon. This is a new development. Communities are not accustomed to this. So when I inquired about the registration process and the percentage of communities that have been registered in this country, that or the communities have not taken up this initiative very well. So Mandera is not different from other parts of Kenya. There is no land that has been registered so far. I know when I've investigated about 3, 4, 5 constituencies in this country have taken up that. That is where registration has taken place, but it is not a countrywide, and therefore Banisa or Mandera has not been left out. So what is ailing the country is also ailing Mandera or Banisa. The issue of Mandera Airport, this is something that is in news. I also had come to know about it just recently. I have not done enough investigations, but what I want to say is this. Land in counties is held by county governments in trust for the people living there until it is registered. And therefore, it has not been registered. What transpired between the county government and national and the airport developing people is, I don't know. I don't understand up to now. But what I want to say, if I'm given this position, if we will be successful, I think that will be one of the first things that I will undertake, so that development and the concerns of the communities can be married, so that we don't miss out on this. Alternative dispute resolution mechanisms can be employed, so that we can reduce the friction and get the airport going on, and communities getting satisfied. It will be a priority for me. But for now, I'm not in the loop. Engineer Zambia. Yes, when I came to Parliament, that is when CDF first was initiated. It is true that we had a lot of problems with the land on matters of development on CDF. CDF was not curtailed the way it is today. It was wide. You could do any type of project. Communities resist, but with persuasion, with them understanding the benefits of the projects that we bring on board, most of the times they agree. We have never bought from them, we have never forced them, and very many projects have taken place, and we have not had problem with our communities so far. Thank you, Chairman.
Madam Vice Chair wanted to ask a question in addition to what has been asked by Wario.
I wanted to ride on what Mheshimiwa Wario said, but somehow you have answered, but I'll just throw it so that you see. The commission you're going to go, if you're approved, one of the mandate is to historical injustices. We are having a region where these historical injustices are very common. On the other side of where we come from, we have people whose land they're not even aware, like you said, it's a community land. So how are you going to help these people so that it comes to their awareness that indeed they need to register this, the lands they own? Thank you, Chair.
Education for our people. The benefits of registration is supposed to be highlighted to them. And when they come to realize this, I think these hitches that are there that are impending registrations can be removed, and then our people can get the benefits of registration. But for now, there is a lot of resistance because lack of understanding of the benefits that is accrued because of registration. We need to teach them, we need to educate them, we need to take a lot of time. To them. I think with time we are going to overcome that problem, inshallah.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Abdi, you know, by 2010 or before 2010, the lands that are in the entire northeastern and a lot of eastern plus Rift Valley, close to 75% of all the land we have in this country were trust lands. Trust lands. So by 2010, the issue of trust lands was removed in the Constitution, meaning that the trust land could either only be public land or community land. And before that, there were lands, the trust lands were lands that were held in trust by the county councils of that time. Now, the liabilities and the assets of what we call the county councils were inherited by county governments. And for purpose of land, there was no direct way of how county governments places. We are 16 years after 2010. Who owns these lands? They're not yet registered as community land. They are not in anybody's hands. Who owns them? And they say that they may not be public. Who owns that clear almost 75% of the arable land that were initially trust lands? I know there are a few areas like in Isiolo where a few registrations have been done as community land. That's the main problem, but you can also give a comment in terms of now as a commission. What does the commission need to do for purposes of those lands?
Questions, brief ones. The first one concerns the positions that you have held before. You've been elected as a member of parliament twice. Congratulations. You've also served as an advisor to the minister, and this involves being loyal to your party, to your constituents, to the executive, and now you are going to a commission where you need to be independent. You make decisions that may affect the loyalty that you are used to. Do you think this experience that you have had before can affect your decision making? 2, you are likely to find yourself in a situation where you have to make a decision which may be even against your own community. And I have seen that in your CV you have participated in conflict resolution initiatives concerning borders, Kenya, Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia. If you found yourself in a situation where your own community is the one which is infringing into the rights of another community, do you think you will have the ability to make a decision which is impartial? Thank you, Chairman.
Respond to that, but we have one of us who came in, Honorable Gitari. Did you introduce yourself? You did. You have a question to ask? Yes, then Ruby, and we close.
Thank you, Chair, and I hear we served with the Honorable Mohammed in 11th Parliament, and we would wish him well in this endeavor, because I served in 10th and 11th. I just want to get some information from my former colleague on the National Commission administers matters that involve significant financial value, including compensation arising from compulsory acquisition of land. Explain the principle that guide your approach to financial accountability and record keeping. State the safeguard that you apply in public office to ensure transparency in financial decisions.
Honorable Ruby.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to also to confirm that I was with the Honorable Mohammed in the 11th Parliament, and I know him very well. Chairman, there is this issue of affordable housing being built on a public land. And since I know the nominee has only specialized in medicine, not on issue of land, how will you handle that issue since the houses are built to individuals? Thank you, Chair.
Mheshimiwa Abdi.
Thank you, Chair. Mheshimiwa Ochanda's question is that land has been held in trust by county councils before 2010. There are no significant registrations. Whose land is it? As far as I'm concerned, until registration is acquired, until the community land is registered, then the county governments hold in trust still for the communities. So if there is a transaction that will take place, for example, compensation on acquisition of community land, that monies will be given to the county governments to keep it in an account, especially interest earning account, until that registration is done, and then that money is transferred to them. So the law is like that. Until this registration is achieved, then land remains community land, but it will be held in trust for them by the county governments. Michelle Nyamai, yes, I have served as an MP for 2 terms, and I have been an advisor to the minister on political matters for that period. How do I maintain my independence? The commission that I'm coming to serve is an independent commission under Article 249. That means the decisions, the programs that will be done at the commission level without direction from anybody. So I think that impartiality I'll maintain. I'll be adhering to the laws and articles that govern this, and therefore I'll be impartial, and I can guarantee that. Number two, in conflicts where my communities are in conflict with other communities again, then my impartiality will be granted also. But if the matter is weighty, then I'll have to recuse myself because of conflict of interest, and then other commissioners can take that program up and do something meaningful. Therefore, there are laws that will guide me if it becomes difficult, or it becomes my impartiality will not be granted, or people think that I will not be impartial. I'll recuse myself from that program and leave other people to handle it. Mheshimiwa Gitari's question is on finances and how to safeguard. I'll make sure prudent use of finances are done. I'll advise that impactful projects are given priority, and wasteful programs will be avoided. On Mheshimiwa Robi's affordable housing, I think the role of National Land Commission is to look at this land, whether it is available in the first place, whether it is private, public, or county land. Make sure that the laws are followed. If it is supposed to be vested in affordable housing, we look at the laid out regulations and laws to be followed, so that we can ascertain that this is not already allocated land. It's not on ecologically sensitive land. It's not private land, and therefore it can be vested into affordable housing program. After that, after the project's takeoff and the project is done, then sectional properties law can be applied, so that everybody gets its title. And this is a new phenomenon. I think laws working around that can be still looked at. If there are lacunas, they can be addressed. But so far, National Land Commission's position will be, in the first place, ascertain the availability, follow the laid out rules, and give the land to affordable land housing board, and then after that, get what we call sectional titles for people who will be benefiting from that land. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. The nominee for the National Land Commission. I'll just ask one or two questions. Have you ever been convicted or charged in a court of law in Kenya?
No.
What is your net worth? Your net worth?
My net worth is 154 million Kenyan shillings.
Do you hold dual citizenship?
No.
What are your current unexpected sources of income?
None.
It can't be.
Pardon?
I said your unexpected sources of income. Unexpected. All your sources of income.
My source.
Like when you said you have so many pharmaceuticals, areas of business.
Okay, all those that I have mentioned are now dormant. They are not working, and therefore I'm unemployed now for the time being. So my bills are paid by my grown-up kids or children. Yes.
You spent a lot of money in politics?
Probably you will realize later on that there's no money in politics. So, but not.
Thank you so much, Honorable Abdi, for being open and for this robust engagement. We really want to wish you the very best.
Chair, I can confirm that I served with the Honorable Member in the 11th Parliament.
Yeah.
I can confirm there is no money in politics.
I think so. We just want to wish you the very best. Maybe one or two remarks before you step out from you to the committee.
Thank you so much, Chair. I want to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to appear here. And I want to thank you for the questions that you have put, because what we are dealing with, what we are talking about is land, which is most emotive matter, and it is the most expensive commodity Kenyans have. Therefore, it needs to be managed in a way that will benefit the present generation and the generations to come. Therefore, it is important, and you are very right for asking these rigorous questions, and I look forward to be working with you probably in a capacity of a commissioner, engaging this committee, taking this program forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we really want to wish you the very best. So you can now take leave, Abdi. You are discharged. Make sure that you carry your testimonies, your certificates, and everything that you handed over to our clerks. They are right there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdi. So we have the last one coming. Mary Senator, member nominee, please come in. Take a seat there. So Mary Senator, karibu to Parliament. I know we served together at some point. I don't know whether it was when you were the senator or the member of parliament on this other side, but we welcome you back. We'll do the introduction of the members who are serving the committee, and then after that we will administer the oath and give you a chance to introduce yourself. So feel free to relax. As we introduce ourselves, my name is Nyamuko Josh, Member of Parliament for North Mugrango constituency, and the Chair of Lands Committee in Parliament, in the National Assembly.
Fatuma Jeho, County MP Wajir, Vice Chair to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. Ali Wario, Member for Garsen, Member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. Joseph Lelmengit, the member for Mgwen constituency and a member of this committee.
Dekobaro, MP for Garissa Township and a member of the committee.
Gitare Gashoki, MP for Kirinyaga Central and a member of this committee.
Dr. Rachel Nyamui, MP Kitui South and member.
Engineer Zambia, Colombo constituency and member.
Omar Munyi, member for Changamwe and a member of this committee. Bachanda Gideon, member of the committee.
Honorable Irene, MP Bahati, member of this committee.
Ondari Joshua, committee clerk.
So the legal counsel administered the oath.
Lift your right hand. You shall read the oath and fill in your name.
Okay. Okay. I, Mary Yaine, Senator, do swear that the information I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you.
So, Mary Senator, we want to welcome you. The members have introduced themselves. I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, your name, where you went to school, your academic qualifications, where you've earned your experience, if any, and any other information which you deem relevant and which will add value to the decision making by this committee. I'll give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes is good enough.
Honorable Chair and members, good evening. My name is Mary Yaine, Senator. I am a seasoned professional with over 28 years of experience in public administration and management, legislative oversight, education, community development, and advocacy. I hold a Bachelor's of Education Arts and a postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Management, both from the University of Nairobi. My career chair started in the education sector as a teacher, as a classroom teacher, later as a deputy head teacher, and as a head teacher in several institutions. Chair, I was also privileged to have served in both houses of parliament from 2013 to 2022, where I also served in different committees, education being one of them, energy, where I served as a vice chair in the Senate, delegated legislation committee in the National Assembly, health committee, where I happened also to serve as a member and a vice chair, regional integration in the National Assembly, and others. Chair, I also served as the chair for KEOSA, that is Kenya Women Senators Association, when I was in the Senate, and also a treasurer for Caucus 47, which is the Women Representatives Caucus, where I championed the Affirmative Action Fund regulations, which gave birth to the Affirmative Action Fund that is currently supporting women, vulnerable groups in all the 47 counties through the Office of the Women Representatives. Currently, Chair and members, I am serving as a director in the Parliamentarian Circle, where I'm also serving as a chair for Staff Training Committee, where I've championed for automation of human resource systems. If today you want to get the information of any staff of the circle, you just click on the button of a computer and you get the information. I've also, together with my other colleagues in the circle, the management, champion for digitization of products for our members, where we now have a product called Empacoso, where you can get your product at the comfort of your constituency. Chair, I've also attained many other skills from different institutions, like gender, HIV, AIDS, a course that has really assisted me in the field when I am interacting with the women and other vulnerable groups. I've also attained a course in strategic management from different institutions. Chair, I am also a family person, a mother of 3, and I appreciate the importance of a family unit and community service. Chair, from all those roles I've played in this republic, in the public service, and the skills I've also gained, they've strengthened my knowledge in governance, which I know will be of great importance to the position I am seeking for approval before you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that elaborate introduction. We want to open the floor to the members to field questions. But before I do so, I just want to seek for some information from yourself. In terms of, it's being said you're a bit temperamental. Your temper is a bit hot. You remember when you served in the Senate, you had a scuffle with your colleague, and there's a time you had to be expelled from your party, you remember? And here you're asking to work with commissioners, 9 of them, which is giving an indication that you might again snap. What could you want to say about that? Are you seeing a possibility of working with those commissioners by bringing different synergies so that you're able to deliver on this very serious assignment? And even when you discuss and engage with the public, because of the emotions, because we're dealing with a very emotive thing called land, how can we trust that you will not go up and cause havoc?
Chair, I appreciate and acknowledge that happened when I was in the Senate during my duties. As you are aware, some other times the roles of a member of parliament and a politician calls for a lot of debate, and during our work such kind of a hot debate happened where we had to differ with a colleague, but I apologize. I wrote an apology to the Speaker of the Senate and the matter was resolved. Having seen in my CV, I've worked in several organizations, including a non-governmental organization, and I've interacted with a big number of people and stakeholders, including when I was a member of parliament for the women representative for Kajiado and the Senate. I've interacted with so many people, and that has tested my ability to work with the people. Over time, I've now grown, and I think I can work well with the commissioners.
In your community, do you have women morans?
It's just a culture, but women are not referred as morans. Neither do we undergo the rights which morans undergo.
Okay, so open up, Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Chair. And Chair, I want to go to Standing Order 91. I declare my interest in this matter. As much as I don't want to diverge a lot of information, Chair, even when I was elected, I continued with my practice as a licensed surveyor. And when the nominee name was floated, some clients of mine I worked for a while back approached me, saying that they have issue with the nominee about a job I did for them. I tried to make effort to meet with the senator, to the nominee, and it became a bit futile. And what I was looking for, Chair, I thought as a former colleague and a person I served with in 11th Parliament, it was not very good for my clients to bring the memorandum about whatever they had with the senator. I made efforts. I was unable to meet with the nominee. So I don't want to divulge a lot of information about that because it is not, they did not bring the memorandum, but I stopped them from bringing the memorandum. I told them there's a person we can talk with because he's a former colleague, because I never wanted a lot of exposure. In line with that, Chair, my question, so that we can be on the same page, and if you allow me, after the answer, I can have another, just one question, then I rest my case. Whether the nominee can tell us the process of RAD allocation before the 2010 Constitution, what used to happen there before, and what happens today, the process, until you get a title deed. And from there, Chair, because of the issue, I believe the nominee knows the issue. I don't want us to wash our dirty linens in public. From there, I can just ask one question and I rest my case, Chair.
Okay, it's allowed. The process before this constitution that we have, how did we do it? And then maybe after this, then we'll come in with the last question.
First, I want to apologize to Honorable Gitare. He's a member of parliament I know, a colleague. When he seek for me to meet with him, I had an engagement somewhere. I tried my best to come and meet with him, which I explained later to him, and I believe that he will still bring forward his case to me, and I will listen to him. When the question he has asked about the process of allocation of land before the 2010 Constitution and the process today, I want to begin with the process after the Constitution of 2010. Chair, land in Kenya is owned by the people of Kenya, according to Article 60 of the Constitution. And the Constitution has also guided the allocation according to the category of land. According to Article 62, if the allocation is on public land, because he has not categorized it, if it is public land, the county government which is holding in trust this land for the community, or if it is public land that is under the national government or the county government, when it's identified to be allocated to either group, the county gives a list of beneficiaries, identify the need for the land, and write to the National Land Commission, which the National Land Commission writes, publish a notice of intent of allocating the land. Then the due process is followed according to the Lands Act of 2012. There is a whole process of allocating and converting the land. If the process is done fairly, transparently, according to the principles of land policy, then fair compensation should be done. That is my my presentation to that question. Before the new Constitution of 2010, we had a lot of issues, and that is why today we have historical land injustices, because this land, community land, mostly were held in trust by the county councils then, and they could just give without much guidance. I raise my case.
Thank you. Any other question?
Chair, I was to do.
Okay. There is a second one to follow up. Yes. Sorry for that.
I don't want to go to the nitty-gritties of the process of allocation of RAD, but the only concern I have is that if approved, the nominee will be one of the commissioners and knows the processes that happens like that. Without diverging a lot of information, I just wanted to know whether, because the nominee is clearly aware of what I'm talking about, whether it is something that will be able to resolve or it is not resolvable. And I am not using because even the owners have titles. Whether it is resolvable or it is...
So now that we are not very sure about that, and just a moment.
I just wanted to mention...
No, I'm not giving you a chance to...
Oh, I thought you mentioned.
Will bring it? So I think it's an issue which we can handle maybe after this, so that we can share the details, and then we see how it will be sorted out. Because the minute she steps in, if she's going to get that approval, then I think it will be very important for her to play by the laws that are there. Are you giving that commitment?
Chair, I've read the national values and principles of, I've read the values and principles of a public servant. I will uphold the Constitution and the law. I listen to the case of Mheshimiwa, Honorable Gitare, and
we don't want to start the case. Let's hope it will be sorted out.
Yes.
It will be very unfair to ambush and even discuss that issue in this committee, since it's not properly before us. But I'm saying after this, then we can share that information between myself and Gitari, and maybe we'll see the best way to handle it.
Okay.
Any other question? Honorable Dr. Uchanda.
Thank you, Chair. I also want to declare that at least we start with the nominee in what term in Parliament. I don't know which term, but my question are simple. One is that the nominee has worked with the communities for a while, particularly on issues to do with education, resources and stuff like that. And beyond that, also helping the communities to reach out to donor support and stuff. And one of those that he worked with was Dupoto. Yeah, Dupoto. Are you able to tell this committee in terms of the amount of information you have about the Dupoto land and the Irish Goal, the donor that supported that group? And then another one is the frequency in terms of now that, particularly when you are in Kajiado, what's happening that the frequency of this land disputes community, whether they were community registered communities or registered groups, what has happened that all of a sudden there are too many disputes after 2010?
So did you mean the Irish of Mitumba or the Irish of Dupoto? Because there's only one Irish who did Mitumba, and then Dupoto is a different.
Yes. From the CV, I'm doing this from the CV. So I'm not very specific in terms. I'm just asking whether that Irish Goal was part of the many other donor agencies that they worked with when she was working with Dupoto.
So, Chair, I worked for Dupoto Yama, which is in Kajiado. I can't remember such a sponsor. And also Dupoto Yama doesn't own land. They only have offices in Kajiado. Possibly that's a different Dupoto. Okay, for the many disputes in Kajiado, Chair, just like in many other parts of the country, before the new constitution of 2010, land was just being given out by communities who are not aware of the processes. Like many of them were asked for land for projects which later did not pick up or collapsed. And after that, their land was not compensated or not given back to the community. We have so many community lands, and mostly these are pieces of land which belongs to the community, and by then they were not registered. Also in group ranches, our ancestors or our parents used to preserve some community land for future projects, which
at some point, some people get to take them, and the process were not followed. So that is what has happened in Kajiado.
On Maureen and then Engineer Zambia, finish with Dr. Rachel.
Okay. Again, Irene, MP Bahati, as a commissioner, most of the time, you'll make decisions that are unpopular, of course with powerful interests, including with politicians. Now, when you come to NLC, how are you going to separate those alliances, loyalties, and pressure? How will you ensure as a commissioner you can set aside those political relationships, especially considering that you have been a member of you have been in parliament before?
Thank you, Honorable Irene. I will uphold the Constitution, especially on Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity, Article 75 on conflict of interest, and I will also abide by the law. I know commissions are constitutional offices and independent offices, and therefore I will serve according to the law. I will serve everyone impartially without being biased to any part of the country or any side of the political divide.
Number two, and that is an interest before this committee. Honorable Chair, if you remember, there is this Kibiko land. Kibiko, if you remember very well, there are around 2,000 acres, and we listened to the Ma community before our committee, and there has been a lot of challenges. If you listen to both sides, it's like there is a group which purely owns that piece of land, and there is another group which looks like they have frauded the land for the Ma community. So, Honorable Senator, as you sit here, if we get the appointment to be in NLC, what measures will you take to make sure that land justice is pushed, so that the right owners of that land can start benefiting? Because we understand there is a group which already has titles for the same, when we have the mother title. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Rachel,
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to confirm that I know the nominee. We have served together in this parliament, and I know her family, but that will not in any way make me conflicted. I would like to ask the Honorable Senator one thing or two things that you'll say, this one I must get it done if I am successful. Number two is the Ma community has a lot of interest in land. I know that as you sit there, you know that they'll all come to you as their person with Dupoto Darfur, with Mitunda, with Lulua, with Kibiko, and they'll expect you to rule in their favor. Do you assure this committee that you'll do the right thing, no matter the pressure that comes from the community? And also whether you'll be fair to them, because being from that community does not also, prevent you from doing the right thing. And the last one, because women candidates are really bombarded with a lot of things, especially about you didn't behave very well, because you are emotional because people like to say that about women. But as you sit there, I would like you to assure this committee that that particular incident that happened because of a situation that happened, a political situation that you are in, can you assure this committee that this will never repeat itself, that we will never have a situation where commissioners are fighting and one of them is caught in a situation of violence? You assure us that because this committee and the other committee of the 12th Parliament has interacted with National Land Commission officers, commissioners, who almost exchanged blows because of an issue. Can you assure us that this will never be from you, and that is it a situation that you found yourself in that will never repeat itself?
So Mary, you can respond to those, and I think we'll close. You want to also weigh in, Honorable Justice, the last one.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Just so that to clear the air on many other speculations and issues, Chair, I would like to ask the nominee, Honorable Senator, have you ever, in your capacity or in your using your own agents, chased away legit owners of land with titles around Kapiti SGR station?
That's very specific, and I just want to give you this chance to respond to those. Then the Vice Chair, if she has anything, she has nothing, please do respond.
Thank you, Chair. On Honorable Engineer Zambia, who is my neighbor, question. The first one on double allocation. I think this calls for digitization of national land processes, not only on national land processes, but on land processes that are being dealt with by the Ministry of Lands. Chair, as you know, the Lands Act and the Lands Registration Act of 2016 has given a mandate to the ministry also on the processes of registration, surveying, and mapping. So I think automation, whether these processes are being handled by the National Land Commission or the ministry, is the only way that can cure these irregularities in allocations and also duplications of documents and also proper documentations. In terms of Kibiko lands, which is also in Kajiado, just like many other issues in many other counties in this republic, it's an issue, a case that I know it's active before court, and it is one of the cases that I will look forward to hear and get to understand, just like many other cases pending before the commission from other parts of this country. On Honorable, my good friend Rachel Nyamai, whom we worked very closely with in the National Assembly, on issues to do with priority areas. One of the biggest issues surrounding this country in terms of land allocation are irregularities in terms of allocation, double allocations, and therefore I will prioritize digitization.
digitization of land records, digitization of compensation processes, so that we can achieve a transparent, fair, and a sustainable process of land allocation. Another priority area that I will advocate is working closely with other land sector stakeholders. The Ministry of Lands, other stakeholders are also big players. I will advocate for a close collaboration, coordination, and cooperation with them, as it is a constitutional matter, according to Article 189 of the Constitution. I will also advocate for alternative land dispute resolutions, mediation, arbitration, another traditional community dispute resolutions agreeable to communities according to the Constitution. Many of these cases goes to court and last for a long time without being resolved. And if they were agreed upon in the communities, they could have been resolved amicably. In terms of the interest, Honorable Rachel indicated that many MA groups and individuals will be coming to me because of the many historical cases that they are facing. I will, Chair, uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, and also follow the due process of any kind of allocation that was done. And also I will serve them without being partisan. The last question by Honorable Rachel is on the issue that happened in the Senate and whether it will happen again in the Commission. Chair, I've indicated that over time I've grown in terms of resilience, in terms of how to deal with different actors. Chair, I will also appreciate everyone's role. I know the Secretariat will be having their own roles in terms of implementing the Commissioner's policies, and the Commissioners will also be doing policy, and therefore I will respect everyone's role. I will also learn from my other commissioners, colleagues, if approved by this House, and therefore I think I will have grown more in terms of experience and also the profession. Thank you.
There was a question by Lele Mingit of people who had titles, but they came and you chased them away. What was the Kambiti or something? You remember that?
Sorry, Joseph. I'm aware that there was a trespass on a family land. This is not my land. It's a family land. And there was a trespass. And I'm told, because I have not been given the case, I'm told that there were some confrontation between the buyers of the said land and my other family members. There was some misunderstanding. That doesn't allow them to fight. But I apologize on their behalf and assure you that in such a particular case, I will look at it with the other commissioners and possibly agree on how to be handled.
But this is your family. I think it's, you were not involved in it because of being a commissioner. I think the issue, the way I understood it, is that you took it upon yourself to chase away these people. You will always before this committee. Joseph, is that the position?
Yes, Chair, but as she explains, maybe it needs an intervention of the all commissioners.
So just explore and get to know the facts so that we don't ambush you and we make sure that the problem is sorted out. Because it's a measure of your behavior, your conduct, your temperament, and that's why we are putting all these questions. Because it would be very unfortunate to see Mary Senator with a rungu or a spear chasing people who have titles. That is the enormity and the magnitude of that question which is coming from the Honorable Justice. So we'll give you time so that you can get facts around it, and then maybe in the course of tomorrow, before the end of the day, we'll see whether we can get in touch with you, because it's a serious issue and we are seeing these incidences. There are now 3, so that as a colleague we can then advise you, because it borders on so many things. We're looking at your certificates. There is this certificate of July 1995 from Kericho Teachers College. It bears the name of Muterian Iaine, which is a different name from that appearing on the ID card. Maybe it's something that you need to explain to us as a committee. Then I'll ask you questions. You can take them to her so that she can. Okay. So have you ever been convicted or charged in a court of law in Kenya? And you say yes or no? Have you ever been convicted, taken to court, charged?
Chair, no.
Do you hold a dual citizenship?
No.
What is your financial net worth?
Chair, my financial net worth is approximately 820 million.
820 million?
Yes.
So I think with that, I just need an explanation of these certificates. You give them to her so that she can maybe distinguish.
Chair, I can easily explain without looking at it.
Please.
I went to the Teachers College, Kericho Teachers College. I was not yet married then. So I was married after attaining the certificate. Now I changed my documents to my husband's name, which is Senator, according to the ID. On the issue of Mheshimiwa, I still feel that I will need to see the information concerning the parcel of land. It's a family land, but it's not my land. But I will be more than ready to look at the information and advise.
Chair, some quick summarized breakdown of the net worth.
800, yeah? You try to break it down. If you're not able to do it now, you can still do it and then hand it over to us so that we know the composition of the 800. Yes?
I can do it now, Chair.
It's there? Okay. I think we can refer to the files. So I think with that, Honorable nominee, we've come to the end of the session, and I want to say and confirm that you were the last nominee to appear before us, and we've richly benefited from your presentation. We are so happy for the robust engagement you had with the members, your former colleagues, some of them, and we are so happy that you came back to Parliament. I just want to give you a minute because I understand it's going to Ramadan. I think they want to open. So that we, okay, there's only 1 minute. Your last remarks, and then you'll take leave.
Chair, thank you so much for giving me a chance to appear before you and present myself. I want to first appreciate this committee. I know there is recently an amendment through this committee that you did to the National Land Commission Act, which opens the window for historical land injustices to be heard. I know it's a milestone. It's what many communities are looking for. And I want to give my confirmation that I will work closely with the Houses of Parliament. National Land Commission needs very close consultation with your House, with your committee mostly, because of reforms, policy reforms. And I want to assure you of much more close engagements with you if approved. Thank you.
I want to say on behalf of all these members, we wish you the very best, and we look forward to working with you the way you have stated, assuming that the main house, the entire Parliament approves you, approves you to be appointed as the Commissioner of National Land Commission. Thank you, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Okay, you may take leave now. You may take leave.
Okay.
You are discharged. So, honorable members, we are done with our sittings. I really want to thank all of us for the patience, for the contribution, for the commitment, especially our brothers and sisters Muslims. I know sometimes it takes a lot of energy, but it's because of the calling. I know we were so compressed because of Thursday. So I think from here I'm given to understand we will proceed to Gideon. Is it Hilton? Yeah? Not Gideon. It's because it's disturbing. So we'll go to Hilton Inn, Garden Inn, which is along Mombasa Road, for the retreat. end, there were suggestions that because we have a PG meeting tomorrow, that's for the broad-based government or the broad-based team, that we could do an evening meeting. That's what is coming from. So that tomorrow then we can just relax. The reservations are done up to Wednesday morning. That's when we'll check out. So that you can then have time to relax, maybe tomorrow afternoon. And I just wanted us to build consensus around that. I mean, if it's agreeable, but we can still come here, do the PG, and then we go and do the final. So it will depend on how you want us to move. But I really appreciate. We really appreciate. This is serious commitment, and that is a spirit that we need to keep. So, Rachel.
Chair, I don't know whether we are allowed to AOB to do in this.
That is the first AOB.
Okay. Chair, my attention is drawn to a matter that is in very seriously in social media concerning a lady called Anne Jenga, who for the last 4 months has been living outside without a place to stay. And now that we are talking about the National Land Commission and matters land, I thought some committee of the House would invite her to know why she has been disinherited by her brothers. Chair, I would like to request that this matter is taken up by the committee, because it would have gone to legal, it would have gone to some committee of the House, because she is totally disinherited by her brothers and she has been staying in tents for the last 3 months. I think Parliament, as Parliament, we cannot pretend to be blind or not be able to see such a thing happening. So I would like to ask whether this matter can be picked by this parliamentary committee.
We'll
and policy interventions that support agricultural development, protect devolved functions, and strengthen food security across all counties. This session seeks to reflect on achievements made so far, examine existing challenges, and explore the legislative and policy interventions necessary to transform the agriculture sector and enhance food security. To guide this discussion, we have carefully selected a presenter and distinguished panelists with extensive experience in the sector. Honorable Honorable members, the objective of this session will be to brief the Honorable Senators on the current state of agriculture and food security in Kenya, highlighting key successes and challenges, and to discuss legislative, policy and institutional interventions required to strengthen agricultural productivity, resilience and food security at both national and county levels. It is expected that from these engagements, Senators will gain deeper insight into priority areas for legislative action and oversight in support of agriculture and food security. Our presenter this morning will be the Honorable Jonathan Nweke,